Hi, friends. I am back from Rubies on the Rise. I have my whole book. It's like loaded with goodness. Um, and I am going to share just a little bit about what I took away from being in Arizona for Rubies on the Rise. I battled with going. This was actually my second time attending Rubies on the Rise. So I had all the thoughts around going again. I had already been to this training. Did I really need to go a second time? I was there a year ago in October. Um, and I really struggled with that. It's also super close to the cruise. We leave for the cruise in, I think, 9 days. Um, and so it's just a really busy season of life. We also found out we're expecting our fourth baby. So I have not felt on top of my game here lately. First trimester is kind of kicking my butt, but all of these reasons tried to stack up against me to have me not go. And I still went because I believe when the door opens, you get yourself in the room. And that's something that I feel like I could say is one of my biggest takeaways from every event. If the door opens, get in the room. There is nothing like being in person with people. There's nothing like being in person with Plexus people. It's just different. And there are things that you hear and people that you talk to and stories that you learn that you just there's no other way for you to learn them besides to be in the room and to be able to put yourself out there. And I sat with a different group of people at every table that I sat at, and always was trying to make friends and learn stories and make connections and things like that. And it getting in the room is so, so, so important. And I will stand by that. I know that it's crazy and it's a sacrifice. I have 3 little kids at home, and it's crazy to try to leave every single time, but it's always, always, always worth it. I never regret getting in the room. So that is my overall biggest takeaway. If you hear one thing from me, it's get in the room, whether it's the next Gold School, whether it is Super Saturday, if it's convention, if it's the next Rubies on the Rise that's in April, whatever it is, get in the room. Don't miss out. If it's a local event, go get in the room, move things around, make it work, and get in the room. That's like one of my biggest things. It makes such a difference. I have a couple dog ears in my training book. This training is so solid. It's very similar to the training that we received last year, but I took away so many different things. So I'm going to go over just a couple of them. The first one that I thought was such an incredible analogy and something that I'd never heard before, but it just makes so much sense. We were talking about what are the qualities of leaders that you look up to, and who are those people and what are their qualities? What characteristics do they have that I want to turn around and emulate? So it was things like people just started yelling stuff in the room, and they had some examples on the screen. For me personally, the things I wrote down, a leader is in the trenches. A leader is disciplined. They're consistent. They show up with integrity. They take ownership. They have a servant heart. They're trustworthy. They're a good listener. They also aren't afraid to call you out. I don't know about you, but a good old step on my toes is good sometimes. Doesn't make or accept excuses. Those are things that I'm looking for in a leader. And then it was Jill Renfro flipped the script on me. And she said, I want you to think of your business, because that's what this is. We are in a business. In your business, are you a renter or are you an owner? And I was like, oh, this is so interesting. I wonder where she's going to go with this. And she said, there is a hole in your wall. So are you going to fix it like a homeowner? Are you going to YouTube it? Are you going to DIY it? Are you going to figure it out, or figure out who you need to call and what supplies you need if you're going to fix it yourself? Are you a homeowner? Or are you a renter? Are you going to sit there and stare at it and be real mad and wait for somebody else to come and fix it for you? And I thought that was so, so powerful. Are you a renter or an owner? And then there was another that I kind of tied back to this, that in your business, because it is your business that you are taking ownership of. Nobody, not up, not down, not side, not around, not anywhere is doing anything for you. Nobody is coming to save you, but you're never, ever doing this alone. If you haven't realized, we have the most incredible community at Plexus, something that I will stand behind, stand beside, never leave, ever. Nobody is coming to save you, but you're never, ever doing this alone. So I believe we've also said you're never You're in business for yourself, but never by yourself. I think, hopefully I didn't just watch that. So I just thought that that was so, so powerful. If there's a hole in the wall, what are you going to do? If there's something going on in your business, are you going to sit there and just be mad and let it just tear you down? Or are you going to be a homeowner? Are you going to figure it out? Are you going to YouTube some training? Are you going to reach up and find some inspiration or ask for help? What does that look like? Are you a renter or an owner? My next little takeaway was we talked about mental traps, and there was like, I think 3 or 4. We talked about perfectionism. This is a place that I struggle. Maybe I'm not alone. Maybe I am. So perfectionists say, I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right. It's disguised as a commitment to excellence. It just needs to be perfect. I want it to look a certain way. I want it to sound a certain way. I want it to feel a certain way. But the reality is it's the unhealthy pursuit of unattainable flawlessness. And I just thought that that was so, so powerful. The antidote, so how you fix it, is make progress, lean into scary things and just do them, because the result will always be confidence. And this again was Jill Renfro. And she came back and she said, Jesus just started walking. He had no idea where he was going. He had no idea what he was doing. He just started walking, and soon he had 12. And I just thought that that was so, so powerful. That stuck with me, as far as perfectionism. And then there was one other thing about perfectionism. I thought perfectionism is never duplicatable. Are what it was. Perfectionism is never duplicatable. So if that's what we're striving for, and this whole business is about duplication, what are we trying to do? Why are we spinning our wheels? Let's stop. Let's stop being perfectionists. I'm in that. If you're in that, let me know. Perfectionism cannot be duplicated. There it is. I knew it was back here somewhere. And then the second to last, because I want to go back to something from the very beginning. The second to last thing is they recognized Celeste Gwynn for being in the room. She was not a trainer. She was there because she had a senior Ruby in the room, and she was there to observe our training, and share her takeaways and just kind of be able to be there and experience it and share her thoughts with corporate. And so she could give them some feedback on it. And so Genevieve recognized her. She had no idea she was going to be recognized, but recognized her for having a senior Ruby in the room, for having a new gold at the last gold school. And she just kept saying over and over, success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. Celeste is here. She's working her business. Does she need to work her business? Questionable. She just kept saying she's making gangster money. I don't know what gangster money is, but it's got to be a lot of money. But she is still working her business. Success leaves clues. Network marketing, the whole model is simple to do. We all know that. It's simple. It's not always easy, but it's simple to do what we do. We know what to do. You and I both. We know what to do. It's simple to do, but it's simple not to do. It's real easy to just not open your doors today. It's real easy to just not send the messages today. It's real easy. It's simple not to do, and it's simple to do. So which side of simple are you on? That was a little kick in the pants for me. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is when we heard from Jean and Alec. I absolutely adore both of them. I am so grateful for the time to be in the room with them, which is not something I would have been able to experience if I hadn't been there. I had chances to talk with both of them at corporate, was trained by them a little bit with my notes, and then also one-on-one just in our receptions. They made a point to come up and talk. I had Dylan with me, and they made a point to come up and talk to Dylan and I, and everyone else who was there, obviously. And just the things that they shared and were willing to open up about, it was just so powerful. And I adore both of those men. I trust them with my whole heart, my whole business. And I think that I'm just so honored to be in this company with them as our leaders. So one of the things that Gene said, and he said this, I think every time, whether it was in the training, in our one-to-one, when I just went up and started asking him questions, that's my biggest recommendation. When you go up to someone, just have some good questions in your back pocket to ask them. And then also in his office, we all piled in his office. I just sat on the floor in his office right in front of him and listened to him speak. It was one of the most powerful moments, I think, of my whole business. But he said over and over and over, there could not be a better time to be in Plexus. We've heard that before. The best time is always right now. But he said, now is the time to lean in and keep your foot on the pedal. If you have backed off, get back on. If you are going, but you're getting tired, push through. Now is the time to keep your foot on the pedal, because Q4, which is what we're in right now, October, November, December. Yes. Oh my gosh. I had to like make sure that we're actually in Q4. Will either springboard you or cause you to be slow out of the gate. He said the next 6 months are going to be pivotal in Plexus. We did get like a secret taste test of a product, but we didn't learn a whole lot of other secrets. But that is one thing that he said. He said there are big things coming Q4 and Q1. And he said you are either going to set yourself up to springboard when all of this comes through, or you're going to be slow out of the gate, and it's going to be really obvious which side of the pedal you were on. So I thought that that was really, really powerful. And then Alec over and over has shared, if you are blessed, be a blessing. If you're blessed, be a blessing. If you're in Plexus, you know it. If you're blessed, be a blessing. But he expanded on it when we were at Rubies on the Rise. And I just thought that it was so good. So I want to leave you with this. He said, if you are blessed, be a blessing, and be ready to humble yourself and ask for help. You're not above asking for help. None of us are above asking for help. And by doing that, you're letting other people be your blessing. So be blessed. If you're blessed, be a blessing, and be ready to humble yourself and ask for help to let other people be your blessing. So I just thought that that was so powerful. It was incredible. If you have the chance, when you have the chance, get in the room. Do not miss it. Whatever it is, if it's Rubies on the Rise, that's what you're pushing for. I believe that you can do it. Those people that are in that room, they're no different from you and me. So it's so good. Get in the room. Rubies on the Rise, Gold School. Register for Super Saturday. They like made us all get our phones out and register for Super Saturday. So register for Super Saturday, be at convention. I can't wait to meet you or hug you. And I think that's all I have. It was so good. Love you guys so much. We'll talk soon.